Hello, hello, welcome. If you are a channel member, thank you for the support. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you are new here, thank you for being here for the first time. If you are returning, welcome home.
It's showtime.
First and foremost, want to give a huge thanks for Amanda Kenny 4997 for giving a huge super thanks. All super thanks are huge in my eyes. Thank you for the super thanks. Thank you for the support. She gave the super thanks 5 days ago and 13 days ago. Forgot to recognize her. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I also put it on the community tab, but thank you for the super thanks and thank you for the support. And thank you for being a channel member and for all channel members. Salute, salute, all channel members. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate the support. Just the idea that the man in the yellow suit has been around since season 1. I know it's hard to believe, but just going to the idea of Jim. Jim was warned by the man in the yellow suit over the radio that Tabitha should not be digging that hole. And then the house collapsed on top of Tabitha when she fell in the hole. Well, at that point, Jim no longer was in the theory business. He no longer wanted to really speculate or help with how to go home, because Jim was pretty much the one who spearheaded all the theorizing with Tabitha. He mentioned to her or showed her that the wires that are in the home that they were in, the Matthews home, didn't go anywhere. And that's what made Tabitha start to write stuff on the wall, to ask questions, and to figure out what's going on, and even start to solve a mystery. So Jim was on board season 1 until the house fell on Tabitha, and then all of a sudden he was no longer wanting to participate.
Oh, wow, wow, wow. Wow.
Yeah, so with him no longer wanting to participate, what I believe the man in the yellow suit was trying to do became true, or worked, in that Jim went from being helpful to being hurtful as far as theorizing, finding ways to go home, and even solving mysteries. That's what made Tabitha move away from Jim and became irritated with him, because he became an anchor to her ship.
If you haven't done so, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you like the stream, fam. That helps with the algo. And welcome all.
Yes, thumb up the video, share everywhere, including your YouTube community tab. Also, I have all my links. Follow me everywhere. It's allmylinks.com/SpadeParkland. So the man in the yellow suit suggested to Jim, don't have your wife dig that hole. Jim, out of fear that he may lose Tabitha, he became counterproductive to everything. And that started the path of Tabitha starting to resent him, because if you watch or rewatch season 1, they entered into Fromville on the brink of divorce because of what happened to baby Thomas. And then with the theorizing and the digging of the hole in the house and everything as far as working together, Tabitha was warming back up to Jim. And Jim was happy, but then the thought of losing her, plus being warned by the man on the radio, that caused him to turn away, and that was the wrong answer. That made Jim no longer want to help Tabitha in solving mysteries, and then he started to feel that again when Tabitha went to the lighthouse on her own and didn't come back. He held out hope, but he started to feel even more feelings of what happens if I lose her, and it's understandable. So that way when Tabitha did come back in the back of the ambulance, he was like, I'm gonna hold on and never let you go. Not really looking at it from the macro point of view that hindering Tabitha is going to make her not want you. And unfortunately, Jim is no longer with us. Boyd had the right idea as far as trapping a creature, and that's the reason why I believe the man in the yellow suit who was cosplaying as Father Khatri was talking him out of it. But I'm going to lay out that Father Khatri, or the man in the yellow suit, who I think it is, unless told otherwise, that's based off of the actor who's playing the man in the yellow suit. I did a video on that where basically he said that if From is picked up for season 4, he's going to be the big bad. So the man in the yellow suit, until we hear otherwise, is the big bad of the entire series. So with him being the big bad, and he's been around since the beginning, it's reasonable to believe that he was Abby after Abby passed away. Also, he's been cosplaying as Father Khatri, and we may find out he's been doing other things to kind of warn people away from gaming the system. Warning people away from gaming the system. And so last but not least, I have some new emojis. I've got the smiley emoji, the boy in white, then there's Jasmine creature emoji, then there's the cowboy creature, Boyd, the grandmother creature, and then both Sarahs. Season 1 Sarah, Crazy Sarah, and then Season 3 Sarah, Soldier Sarah. So hopefully I can get some more channel members so that way I can add some more emojis for you all. Join the channel memberships. We can get more emojis in and be able to have more flexibility or availability as far as what we could post into the comments. This is after Kevin opened up the window for Jasmine Creature. And a lot of you all are saying that you all would open the window for Jasmine Creature.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, y'all see what happened to Kevin, and y'all are trying to simp out for Jasmine. Okay.
Simping activate.
So this right here is the scene where after the creatures infiltrate Colony House and everybody else is hightailed out of there, but Ellis, this is season 1 Ellis, he still has a drinking problem from due to Boyd having the Pow Pow Abbey. So he was that guy, and he was in a drunken stupor. Everybody else ran out and left him. He's there by himself. So that's Trudy. She's wearing the sweater that she got from Fatima. Ellis thinks that that's Fatima.
Baby, no way.
Well, that's good news. It's just Trudy. Trudy was stealing stuff from everybody all the time anyway. So in a way, it's like, she's gone, but it's good that she's gone, not Fatima. Y'all saw the blood on Smiley's mouth, right? Y'all saw the blood on Smiley's mouth. So they have the claws on their hands that can take out someone's neck that they usually do that analyze people very quickly. So them using their mouth and teeth is unnecessary, but I still believe that the reason why blood is usually on the mouth is because they're drinking the blood of their victims, and that's how they're able to sustain themselves.
Have you seen Julie? We need to go. We need to run. Come on.
I can't go, you should go.
I'm not going without you. Go do this. We have to get back in the house. We have to get inside. I have an idea. Come on.
She closes the front door of the foyer that they're in. So the foyer has a double door. This is the reason why we're watching this clip. The foyer has a double door. So if you put a talisman stone up, people can't get in the front entrance, and they also can't get into the doors that lead into the inner part of the mansion, which is Colony House. So in essence, them being inside this enclosed space, they're safe because of the talisman stone.
Please, 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 please.
Don't be like that. We're having so much fun.
And you hear the creatures, they're physically trying to open the door. Because remember, Fatima just closed the door. She didn't lock anything. So the creatures can now physically open the door as far, and look where Ellis is looking. So Ellis is looking towards the doors that lead into the atrium of the mansion, which is Colony House. So Fatima just simply closed the door, put the talisman stone up. The creatures cannot physically open the door. And I think it's because the talisman stones are equivalent to a force equal to the creatures which repels them, which is similar to two south magnets. Not saying that the talisman stones are magnetic, but that what is in the talisman stones, as far as the minerals that make up the stones, that also applies to the grotto, that energy is the same as the creatures, and because it's the same force, it kind of repels each other. And that's the reason why they cannot physically open the doors from the atrium or inner part of the Colony House into the foyer because of that energy. Same thing with the entrance to Colony House. Fatima and Ellis are in the foyer of Colony House, which is like the room before you get into the large room, and they're safe. So the reason why I'm showing you this of the creatures physically not being able to get into the foyer is because this logic is how you would trap the creatures inside of a building. They would go into a room that you create that's equivalent to a foyer or a vestibule. They go there, then they would go past that into through another set of doors or wall. Really, it should be doors. And then there's going to be a talisman stone on the inner part of the foyer that you create. So they won't be able to go into the foyer and back outside. They'd be stuck into that large room. And then you'd have to have another room adjacent to it with a talisman stone up to where they can't exit that large room that they're trapped in by going out the other way. So in essence, they'd be trapped in that space that's created. Colony House is a bad place to do that, but I'm gonna show you a good place to do that later on in this clip that I'm playing.
How do you know it's gonna work?
I didn't.
I had the scene play out or run out a little bit more because this is the moment that Ellis decided he wanted to marry Fatima. So before this moment, Ellis was drinking, he was a drunk. This is the night of Fatima's 1-year anniversary party. Ellis was drunk, maybe even jealous of the attention that she was getting. And at this moment, for Fatima to go back and save him and risk her own life, this is when he decided to marry her. And this is also when he stopped drinking and he stopped being the quote unquote tough guy with a chip on his shoulder that came from the fact that Boyd pow-powed Abby. When Boyd, Stevenson, and family, including Ellis, when they came into town, they all lived in town and they picked a home. They probably picked the post office to live in, and they were there until Abby went around pow-powing people like Duck Hunt, and Boyd had to pow-pow her to keep her from shooting Ellis, who she turned her firearm on. At that point, Ellis, upset about what happened, chose to live in Colony House, no different than what Kenny did season 3. Ellis became somewhat of a bad guy with a chip on his shoulder because of what happened with Abby and the fact that people were probably making comments to him about his mom, saying that, well, he might go crazy, we gotta stay away from him. So at this moment, Ellis went from being a guy with a chip on his shoulder to being someone who's positive, okay? Even though I crack jokes and say that Ellis went from being a tough guy to being soft after Dale stabs him, he actually started to go soft at this moment, which is a good thing because he was a bad dude.
With your dad in the RV, I just...
Possible. Yeah, I don't. But the talisman.
Okay, this is season 3 when Boyd tells Ellis his plan to catch or really capture or really trap one of the creatures using the talisman stone.
They keep those things from getting into the houses. Maybe it can keep them from getting out of something. But I get it, but we're not talking about catching a stray dog or a coyote, okay? Those things, we don't know anything about them. Yeah, well, maybe it's time we learn. We can't just sit around playing it safe anymore. Safe. You spent one night out in the forest and it almost got you killed. And then it almost got everybody killed. But it's safe. Jim and Kenny spent the night out in the forest, right? And they came back with food, and now we have enough food to feed everyone again. The point is, it's not always going to work out the way that we want it to. But that doesn't mean we can't take chances. I'm with you, okay? How'd it go to Kenny and the others?
Fine. We all drew straws, Dale threw a shit fit, and they all went on their way. Should be down there by lunchtime.
How did Kenny see?
As good as can be expected. Christy's down there with him.
Yep.
All right. What the fuck's going on?
Okay, if you don't tell her, I will. I want to catch one of those things.
Sorry, what?
Those things show up every night. Every goddamn night. And we still have no idea what we're dealing with. What they are. Where they come from.
Boyd, we have been down this road. You have already caught one.
No, I killed one. That's different. We need to learn about them. We already know they talk. So we catch one, we make it talk.
Oh, you're going to make it talk. How are you going to do that? You're going to torture it? We have hit those things point blank with shotguns, and all it makes them do is smile. They are not human.
Well, according to Christy, they were at some point.
Oh, and what part of that reassures you?
We gotta do something, all right? We can't. We gotta fucking do something.
You see how Ellis and Donna, they hear Boyd's plan, and instead of giving answers or helpful information of what may possibly work, they just shoot his plan down. With Boyd being, we'll just say, the leader, especially with Donna breaking down the Boyd and stuff, she's officially a subordinate. It should be them giving possible solutions and a recommendation, but what they're doing is they're being antagonistic to his plan and they want him to do nothing. So the reason why we're watching this scene is because Boyd had a plan, which is a good idea, but Donna and Ellis are shooting his idea down, and this changes Boyd's mind on creating a trap to trap the monsters.
How are you going to do it?
I am working on that.
Great. Work harder. miss Jan too. And believe me, I do not want us to not go out there and get our pound of flesh, but I do not want to watch you get killed because of some half-baked dumbass plan. And don't you encourage him.
So Donna is antagonistic to this plan or idea because she was all for helping out Jim with the idea of the radio tower, and that just kind of went belly up as far as the equipment being destroyed by the weather changing all of a sudden, people getting injured inside the colony house. So Donna is understandably antagonistic to any idea besides them basically doing what they're supposed to do, which is hide every night and work outside to create more food and just live their lives and be somewhat content. Especially because Donna believes that what they had with Colony House, or really even in Fromville, was a good thing compared to where they came from. So Donna and a lot of other people have started to accept what life is now and even find positives to it. So any disruption is going to, of course, make her upset, which is the reason why she's antagonistic.
Got a baby on the way. More to worry about now than yourself.
Dad, talk to you later.
So they talked Boyd out of the idea of trapping the creatures in that last scene.
I didn't choose this life chose me.
Boyd, he's not making a trap. A lot of people have asked, well, what happened with the idea of making a trap? He's no longer thinking about making the trap. He's given up on that idea. And you see the rest of season 3, he doesn't mention anything about a trap.
So is this some part of your nefarious plan?
All right, so this is Father Khatri. He comes in and says this is a part of Boyd's nefarious plan. So I think it's nefarious from Father Khatri's point of view, who I think is really the man in the yellow suit cosplaying as Father Khatri. I think if you lose your life in Fromville, the man in the yellow suit, the entity, what runs Fromville, especially the weather, maybe even the soil, that he can now cosplay as that person because them losing their life in From traps them in From, and he can use them as far as their likeness, their image. He may even have control over their soul. So season 4, we may see visions of Jim that may also be the man in the yellow suit.
You really think you can catch one of those things?
Maybe.
Boy, you've been here, what? Year and a half now?
Now think about it. Boyd, he gave up on trying to catch one of those things. Right now, what he's working on is a memory board. So he's not working on a trap. He's not thinking about a trap yet. Father Khatri, or Man in the Yellow Suit, cosplaying as Father Khatri, is here to talk him out of doing that. So let's take a break for a moment. So you see how this is the church. Now you see there's a door right here in the church. If you close this door and close this door over here, the room that Father Khatri is sitting in, which is like the, I guess you call it the atrium, just where it has the pews and different things, this becomes a room. Okay, so if you close this door and close that door, put a talisman stone on the inside there, the creatures will not be able to enter into this room. So they'd be trapped in this room. If you create a foyer there, or at least somewhat of a enclosed space before getting into the room that Father Khatri is in, a creature would be trapped.
Pretty well by most metrics, you know. Kept most people alive, but otherwise be dead.
Now, if a creature is trapped inside of the room that Father Khatri, well, the man in the yellow suit, Father Khatri came from as far as in that room. If the creature's trapped in there, then they'll know for sure if the creatures can break the windows and escape, or if the creature will just hang in there. Because let's say if they do trap a creature and the creature cannot break the windows from the inside, or just doesn't break the windows, that means you can, from the outside, look in to see the creature and see where the creature is, and even communicate with the creature through the window and see what the creature does during the day. And you could pull someone like Tabitha in, maybe even Victor, and tell them about what's going on. And they could tell you, like, oh yeah, one time went to the cave, the creatures were down there sleeping. So in theory, if they do trap a creature within the church, the creature should be sleeping and be a creature form.
Present company excluded, of course. So why change things now?
Look around you. Look at all the shit that's happening lately. You really gotta ask me that?
Well, at least you have a solid plan, right? Lure one of those things into a house, slap a talisman on the outside of the door, trap it inside. Next day, go inside, wander around the house, searching for it room by room until it jumps out from somewhere and rips you to pieces. Yeah, no, I can see how the military trusted you to plan things. You don't see it, do you? Boy, you can't even see what's staring you right in the face.
Which is?
Those things said they wanted to break you. And that means they wanted to change you. So far, so good, because the Boyd I knew would never do something this colossally stupid.
All right, so this is important right here. Because, see, the real Father Khatri didn't know that Boyd told Frumville that you will not break me, because Father Khatri was already deceased at that point. This can't be the real Father Khatri, because he wouldn't know that. Now, some would say that maybe this is a figment of Boyd's imagination, but again, in the previous scene with Boyd, Donna, and Ellis, Boyd was talked out of creating a trap to trap the creatures, and right now he's working on a memory board. So the thought of trapping the creatures is out of his mind. So this couldn't be a part of his psyche, figment of his imagination, his internal person talking to him. This has to be a separate thing, because there's no need for anything to manifest itself to talk Boyd out of doing it, like a subconscious or something, because Boyd has already changed his mind. So at this point, whatever this is, I think it's the man in yellow suit, is definitely not coming from within Boyd, and is definitely not Father Khatri. And Boyd later on in season 3 even asks Father Khatri, what are you exactly? And Father Khatri says, I can't answer that for you. So he can't answer that for him, because just like with the man in yellow suit who's on the radio telling Jim, your wife shouldn't be digging that hole, also telling Jim, with knowledge comes a cost. He can't tell him stuff, because whatever this is tells the truth or spills the beans, that's going to let them know that what they're doing is on the right path to defeating Frumville, and maybe even defeating the man in the yellow suit.
The boy Junior got you killed.
You know, you might want to get down off of that cross of yours every now and then. You know that?
Fuck you, man.
I died because I was trying to help people. Tian Chen, she died because she was trying to help people. You have any idea how arrogant it is to diminish that sacrifice by making this all about you? But I really like your fancy art. It's nice.
It's a memory board.
See, it's a memory board. Boyd was not thinking about making a trap anymore. He was talked out of it. That's why Father Khatri called it art, to kind of get Boyd to talk about what he was making. And Boyd told him it's a memory board. And in a few more seconds, Father Khatri, or Man in Yellow Suit, is going to disappear, knowing that Boyd is not making something that's going to trap the creatures, which is basically going to, we'll just say, hinder the evil side from winning the game.
You got his new markers, no headstones, just bodies. Probably bodies buried all over the place. You should have a place for the names. Your name. 10 chairs. Well, I think better when I work with my hands. So leave me the fuck alone, huh?
The Father Khatri figure left before Boyd even turned around and told him leave him alone. Because you don't hear Father Khatri anymore, he just disappears. And that's because once the man in the yellow suit, which was cosplaying as Father Khatri in theory, realized that the boy was not trying to catch one of those things or capture it, that's when it decided to disappear. So just kind of looking at this layout, they could close these doors, put a talisman stone on the inside of this room right here. Once you put a talisman stone on the inside, the creature will be trapped in this part where the pews and tables and different things are. Then you would have to have a foyer built on the entrance where Boyd is facing. And then you put a talisman stone right there on the inside. The creatures have not touched the stones. They don't touch the stones. So in theory, the creature would be trapped in here. So the church is the most ideal place to make a trap. And I think that's the reason why Father Khatri, being cosplayed by the man in the yellow suit, came here to talk to Boyd, as opposed to talking to Boyd in the post office that's been converted to a sheriff's station, because I think the man in the yellow suit knows that this church is the most ideal place to do something like that. So yeah. And remember, the creatures, they can exit a room and home. They cannot enter a home or a room when a talisman stone is positioned on a wall inside of a room. I think Father Khatri, maybe even Abby, is really the man in the yellow suit cosplaying as them. And yeah, this is the most ideal building to trap a creature in regards to trying to trap them. And I think that whatever Father Khatri is, he can hear the humans when they talk everywhere. And that's what prompted Father Khatri to want to show up to talk Boyd out of creating a trap, because he's got to be able to listen. So the same way that Julie was able to hear the screaming from the children, hear the screaming from herself, Marielle, and Randall in the lair, I think the man in the yellow suit can hear stuff, but he doesn't know how to actually go somewhere until he shows up, he's invisible, and then he finds out where someone is. And again, I don't think that Father Khatri is Boyd's subconscious. I do not believe that as what it is, because there's no point in talking him out of doing something that he's not going to do. So yeah. So Boyd was on the right track as far as how to trap a monster, and this would be how you trap him, which would be in the church. So what do you think? Let me know in the comment section your thoughts. Thumbs up the video, share your social media, subscribe, click the notification bell. Thanks for watching. Go forth, do great things, and I'm out. Peace.